Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today we're here live at the World Trade Center in Seattle. We've got some amazing guests here. We're going to be talking about marijuana media, starting with Garrett Rudolph of Marijuana Venture. Garrett is the editor-in-chief of Marijuana Venture, a leading business magazine for the legal cannabis industry and host of the Retail and Dispensary Expo. Marijuana Venture was the first monthly magazine focused on the legal cannabis industry, and the company now has published 80 print magazines since its inception. In 2015, it was named one of the 30 hottest launches out of more than 800 new titles across the country. Prior to launching Marijuana Venture, Garrett was the editor of a twice-weekly newspaper in Eastern Washington. After announcing in a column he was leaving the newspaper, Seattle area businessman Greg James contacted him about pick and shovel opportunities within Washington's newly regulated marijuana industry. Together, they started Marijuana Venture with the idea of targeting business owners, managers, and investors in the emerging recreational cannabis market. The publication began as an 8-page black and white newsletter that quickly gained acclaim among Washington's business hopefuls and eventually grew into an award-winning national distributed 164-page glossy magazine. The company has since expanded into the event sector with Interchange, a twice-yearly buying and selling event for Washington businesses, and the Retail and Dispensary Expo, an annual trade show specifically for cannabis business retailers. Garrett, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
And then remotely, we have Dave Rheins. Dave is the founder of the Marijuana Business Association. The MJBA is a leading business organization in the fastest growing industry in America. The MJBA provides business intelligence, professional networking, and commercial opportunity for participants in the legal cannabis industry. Founded in 2012, Seattle-based MJBA hosts many cannabis industry trade shows, professional education seminars and workshops, and publishes the most popular MJ headline news on Facebook, mjnewsnetwork.com, Marijuana Green Pages, and Marijuana Channel 1 on YouTube. Dave is a frequent speaker and moderator at Seattle Hempfest, CannaCon shows, Collaborative Conference, Cannabis World Congress, and Business Expo, and a regular columnist for Freedom Leaf magazine. He's a proven business leader with 30 years of experience building and operating best-of-breed media and marketing organizations. Dave has an impressive track record as a senior executive for Rolling Stone, Spin, iVillage, Corbis, Time Warner, and America Online. Dave, thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Bess Byers is with us with Blaise Creative. Bess is a Seattle-based cannabis photographer and digital marketing professional. Bess graduated from Washington State University with a BA in public relations, moved to Beijing to intern at a graphic design agency before moving to LA to work in marketing research. All that changed in March of 2015 when she received a job offer from Western Cultured, a legal cannabis cultivation company. She slowly transitioned from working in the garden to a sales role and then social media and marketing. By January 2016, Bess joined Grassworks Digital before starting her own company, Blaise Creative, in January 2018, providing content creation, social media management, and other digital marketing services. And independent employment has allowed Bess to pursue her passions, including writing, photography, brand development, influencer outreach, and politics. Bess, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And also remotely with us is Cy Williams of Hi Canada. Cy is the editor and publisher for the long-standing Canadian cannabis culture publication, Hi Canada Magazine, as well as the recently launched Hi Europe Magazine. A staple within the Canadian cannabis community for the last several years, Hi Canada comes out monthly and serves its community by informing and educating Canadians on all things cannabis in both Canada and internationally. Cy, thank you for being here. And Sharon Whitson of Hempfest. Sharon is the Chief Operating Officer of Seattle Hempfest, joining the organization in 2004. She loves saying that a PTSA soccer mom runs Hempfest, as family is a huge focus in her life. Sharon quickly found that her project and business management background could be leveraged to help Hempfest evolve and was attracted by the passionate environment Hempfest creates. In 2012, she founded Hempfest Central, the organization's first office fronted by Hemp Culture, 420 Culture Store. As the 28th annual Hempfest approaches, she looks back on the 28 years of hardcore activism that laid the groundwork for legalization to blossom with great pride and determination. She said, quote, "We've come a long way, we still have a long way to go." And when she's not at Hempfest leading the charge towards Hempfest, she's loving camping, hiking, and spending time on the river with her family. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And about the World Trade Center, we are at the World Trade Center in Seattle. There's several of these. It's one of the largest business networks in the world with 300 offices in 99 countries, and the World Trade Center in Tacoma is the lone trade center service for the Pacific Northwest. They offer trade shows and investments and providing direct access to a large business network. They have seminars, award ceremonies, and conferences that can generate contacts and contracts. Their trade research can clarify opportunities, and their matchmaking can turn those opportunities into trade. The one thing I like about it is their e-commerce store. They partner with Alibaba. It's translated to 18 languages and offers products like CBD, at least for now, to get into hard to reach spots like Europe and Asia. They also have good spots for business banking. So if you need an international letter of credit or bank guarantee, World Trade Center is your spot. But Dave, CNBC recently had a storyline titled "Cannabis Jobs Pay 11% More Than the U.S. Median Salary." I've seen another one called "High Income: The Ways You Can Make Money Off of Legal Marijuana." So I'm wondering if you have a response to some of the hyperbole regarding higher than normal wages in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, my first response is, what am I doing wrong? So, no, I think that that is hype. What you are seeing is a tremendous job creation engine, but it started on the West Coast, and the West Coast has progressive states that have higher minimum wages. So you're seeing those bed tenders who are making a higher minimum wage than, say, if you were working at the 7-Eleven in Indianapolis or Iowa or someplace like that. So I think that, the hype is not that we're overpaying our talent. I would suggest that, ounce for ounce, the entrepreneurs, the small business folks that are part of the foundational first generation legal cannabis are hardworking and really have yet to fully realize profits. Now, like everything else, there's always a cadre of the one percenters, and in this case, no offense, but there's a lot of Canadian public money that's coming down, and they are overpaying execs, and certainly those public companies are guilty of overpaying their senior executives because, for the most part, they're entrepreneurs who are looking for that return. However, you're seeing and have already seen that many of that initial cadre is now being displaced by professional managers as big alcohol, big tobacco, big pharma, big CPG buys up those MSOs and LPs, and will continue to do so, boys and girls, as legalization actually takes hold and normalization. As I suggested, you're going to see cannabis industry be as curious a word as the sugar industry. Sugar is in every single thing that we sell. We just don't call it a sugar product.
So I'm wondering if you feel my opinion, which is that MedMen, one of the biggest multi-state operators or MSOs, was paid $4 or $5 million on average. I think similar CEOs in his place are making $250,000 a year. And I believe that those top 4 LPs up in Canada have kind of skewed the salary. I'm wondering if you feel the same way.
Absolutely, I do. I feel what they're being paid is ridiculous and absurd. There's a real division here in Canada between the what they're now calling the unregulated market and the regulated market, which are LP versus original craft growers. And we've just been seeing the division widening and widening post our first wave of legalization here. And a lot of, it's a lot of the grassroots, the original people have been kind of almost forced out of their own chosen industry, only to see like the top cops here in Canada benefiting from high salaries and all these extra perks that come along with being involved top levels LP or licensed producers. So right. I agree with you 100%. I think it's it's unfortunate that they seem to be making so much money.
I just wanted to chime in. I also feel like that sometimes high salaries don't always equate to success. And I saw that. I had a very corporate cannabis experience that is actually what inspired me to finally start my own company. And it was a company, Washington-based, that had received a very large amount of startup funds. And I came in and I obviously, was paid more than I had ever been paid at a marketing job, and started, obviously hearing what other people were making. And it was just astronomical amounts. But then we would come into these, weekly, monthly meetings, and we would be hearing the sales team talk about how little they're able to sell, and that we had to have a really tight budget, and that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to maintain operation without getting more investment. And so, I think that, it's that corporate mindset of they've got this huge startup funding, we can throw these big salaries at people, but what good is a large salary if you can't maintain it and continue to grow your business? Now, on the flip side of things, for me, starting my own company, I've made more money starting my own company than I've ever made, working for other companies. Is it easy? No. Do I work a simple 8 hours a day? No. But it's an amazing opportunity. It's worth it. And, that's what I think is so great is, just we're doing something new. And I mean, if you told me 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, that I was going to have a cannabis marketing agency, be making what I am, I would have been like, you're high, pass the joint.
Not without its challenges, though, right?
Exactly.
So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. I want to thank my guests. We have Garrett with Marijuana Venture. He's the editor-in-chief there at Marijuana Venture magazine. I also want to thank Bess Byers. Bess is with Blaise Creative. We also have right here Sharon. Sharon is with Hempfest. Day one starts on Friday, so congratulations on 28 years.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
On the line with us remotely is Dave Rheins with MJBA, the Marijuana Business Association. I want to thank you for being on the show with us today, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, Cy Williams with High Canada Magazine and High Europe Magazine. Congratulations on the expansion, and thanks again for being with us.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.
Yay! Thank you.